for everyone for the last round of reviews. I added the comments and changed everything, and there is only a single comment left where I feel that there is a bit of misunderstanding, and I would like to clear that up, and I would like to understand. I would like everybody to understand the same things, and I would like to decide on that and close it up for good.
Is this the parameterization of the engine schema?
Yes, yes, that's the one. Basically, sorry, Eric. Sorry. So let me share my screen. Share my screen. Entire screen share. And then can you see this one?
Yeah, we're looking at IntelliJ.
Okay, cool. That's the plan. So we have the bright builders we are providing for our external users, and there we have the schema as a type. So here we have the type for the engine schema provided as a generic parameter for those. This is true for the equality builder, the data write builder, the position, no, not for the position builder, but whatever. So these are the user-facing stuff, and read builder and write builder are for the five formats. The five formats will implement the write builder and the read builder. This is exactly the same class which Parquet creates, and at this point, and okay, so these are the ones which we would like to which are at this point non-parameterized.
Yes, because we're using them by composition, not extension. I mean, we do have a read builder, write builder API so that we can abstract away the format specific details, right? But at the same time, we are not exposing those publicly through this API.
So we are not exposing for.
Sorry, I think that is for the format glue, you know, like the object model builders to use.
Okay, so the format models will create the write builder and read builder. So we are not exposing to the actual readers and writers, but we are exposing to the engines, and we are exposing those to the actual implementations who are potentially adding new writers and readers. So I agree with your point there. We already discussed that we don't really want to change the Parquet implementation of everything. So so that's absolutely cool. I think the question the others are raised again. I stopped that at the last one, but others raised again whether we want that. So whether we want to allow the API to expose this, even though we don't want to use that in the current implementations. But here I would like to ask, for example, Stephen, do you want to chime in?
Can you? 1 second.
You want to me to show how it would look like?
Yeah, let's get the PR where you have the POC. I guess how it's used.
So basically, this is how the change would look like if the write builder would be parameterized. We won't use the generic parameters.
Okay, so I believe that we are confusing things here, because Stephen, I think your concern is over the passing a schema in as a generic object.
Correct. So
right.
that's what,
and this never accepts an engine schema. So I believe that these are two separate issues, which is what I was getting at with that comment. So these builders, the Parquet and the Avro builders, can be left alone. Then the right builder that those construct can be that is passed in can have a type parameter that is maintained by the data right builder or the equality delete right builder, right? So it has an engine schema and it knows it can pass that engine schema type into the builder or the writer function that it constructs, right? Those types can run throughout the outer builder, but the inner builder doesn't need to know about those things because all it gets is a writer function that accepts an Avro schema. And then it also gets, it produces some writer based on type in the build method. So both of the types that you're talking about are constructs of the outer class. I mean, we could add a type here for the build method, but again, I don't think that that's a good idea. However, I think the two issues here are that the type of rows the type of rows used by the builder returned by this is determined at the build method, and I think that's okay. Then on the opposite side, we have how do we keep track of the type of the schema that is being used? And I think that that can be entirely within a parameterized outer builder because we can choose the type parameters of that builder.
So does this mean this Parquet.write builder doesn't need to implement the write builder interface? Peter, if you go up a little.
So it needs to implement a write builder interface, but that should probably be the same as like the internal write builder because it doesn't need to be parameterized, right? I don't know why we would mix those things together.
So you are, how would you expose the engine specific schema to so we need to expose that to the users. It is coming from the there into the how does it called? It's content file write builder.
So we have a data write builder, right?
Yeah.
Data write builder is what the engines use. So when Spark calls in and gets a data write builder, right? It says, okay, I want this data write builder to be parameterized by struct type, or right, it's struct type, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, struct type, and it gets this thing. Now that type is basically, whatever it happens to be because type parameters are erased. But Spark says, I know I'm looking for one with struct type. It gets one with struct type, and then it calls that with struct type. We actually do write the data write builder for Spark implementation. Oh, I guess.
No, let's get into the
that data write builder is used across all of them.
Yeah, currently, this data write builder is this generic write builder.
Okay.
And giving them, and that's why I added the parameter there.
Wait. So data write builder is not actually a interface that uses Parquet or Avro through composition. It is trying to extend the Parquet and Avro. Because that, I mean, currently, like what's in main today is that we have the Parquet builder, and then we have a data builder that uses the Parquet builder through composition. Same thing with the delete builder. So I expected, and I thought this was what we had settled on, I expected those builders to just become generic and used by anything, and then they configure a read builder and a write builder internally.
Peter, can you share the POC PR that where you put everything together? That might be. Yeah, I think. Yeah, this is the one.
So here in the Parquet format model, we are getting the writer functions from outside. These are which defined by Spark and Flink and engines.
Okay.
And this writer function gets an input of these three, and whatever else, some more, but that's not important this point.
Okay.
This free schema.
So the one that Parquet interacts with doesn't need the engine schema, right? Because you can pass a function that fills in the engine schema. I mean, we actually do this for in a few places right now, where if you pass the function that accepts a single parameter or a parameter that's not there, we wrap it in a different lambda to adapt to the other thing. So you can call something that passes the engine schema to the writer func using something that a lambda that has the engine schema in a closure, and then is called with just the Iceberg schema and the message type. So my understanding was that the engine schema, like the only thing that needs to be passed in actually by Parquet itself is the file schema, right? It might be easier to actually pass in the Iceberg schema at that same time, and I think that's a reasonable thing to do. But like the engine schema does not need to be plumbed through the Parquet interface at all. So I think this is the source of confusion, because I was assuming that the engine schema would be a type and object managed entirely at the data write builder level, not at the Parquet builder level.
I remember trying that out, and it became really convoluted because the function is coming from the engine, but we have and we get a format model which is encapsulate everything from the engine, and we need to provide the model with the engine schema to actually generate the writers. And since the format model at this point provides the writer builder API, this is the only way how I could add input to the format model. In this, otherwise, I need to modify the format model to here in the write builder. I would also need to add the schema somehow and update the writer function with the schema. So I need to change.
So I think that let me think about this.
So right now the engine, let's say when they use the Parquet format model, they don't use the actual data file builder or equality data file builder directly. They're actually using the Parquet format model, the format model directly.
Well, so the engine should be providing both a Parquet format model, an Avro format, right? A format model for every format, and then the actual, like, give me a writer that, you know, accepts a internal row, that should be done using the data writer. Right.
Peter, can you go to the Spark module where it's integrated? Spark. Yeah.
So currently, for example, for Parquet, we are saying that internal row class is created. This is the type, and here how we are creating the builder, and here is how we are creating the writer. These are the methods which creates those functions which are creating.
I mean, I think that there would be a way to manage this entirely through the data right builder. I can probably take a look at this and suggest something in the next week or so. I might have some time on Friday to do it. But yeah, I see the misunderstanding now that it is we're trying to pass this same thing into the Parquet builder, but I think that the Parquet builder doesn't need that. So I would expect, what I would expect is that we get this function, right? And the data right builder basically curries the engine schema into it, right? Creates a new function that Parquet understands that already embeds the engine schema. Now, that would need to happen when that builder called build, right? It would then be responsible for calling writer func on the underlying builder. So we would need to know, basically, I mean, we would need to adjust the registry somewhat to, you know, provide this.
This should be again a function, because when you get the write from the registry, you don't yet know the engine schema, because the engine schema is set only on the builder.
Yeah, I'm saying that the outer builder needs to manage this function.
So outer builder will collect everything and then create the function and sit down.
But I'm trying to think through how that might work.
I have to try it again to find out what was the blocker for this.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I can also try and take a look on Friday, but I think I think that that's a solvable challenge and something that we can figure out.
Okay. I will be on PTO next part of the week, so probably I won't be able to spend time it. But next week I will definitely try
Okay.
this approach. I think I understand what you are trying to point at this point. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you for discussing this, because I think we would have had a misunderstanding for a little while longer.
Sooner or later it will show. Anyway, okay, cool. Anything else we would like to talk about? Cool. Then I think I thank everyone for your time, and let's see what happens next week. Thanks.
All right. Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you.